Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk and thank you very much for joining me today. This is what I've been making today, and this is by popular demand. I posted a video maybe a week or so ago that showed how I'd made a big bag out of 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and that one was, I think it was 8 inches by 4 inches deep. And at the end of that video I showed a bag which had this dimensions, which is also made out of 2 full sheets of 12 by 12, because at this time of year I'm using up my retiring DSP. And this one is 6 inches by 6 inches and it's 6 inches deep. So you could get, you could get quite a bit of goodies in there. I will say, before I get into the details of how I made this, the picture at the end of this tutorial is the same bag, but it's made out of different paper. And the reason for that is this is my second attempt at filming this, because something went very wrong with the microphone. And I tried doing voiceovers, and you know what, it was just hopeless. So I've done this one again. So I'm hoping this goes better, or wish me luck. Here are the supplies I'm using today. I've got 2 full sheets of 12 by 12 paper, and I'm using up my retiring DSP. I've got a good long length, it's almost a yard I think, of the powder pink finely woven ribbon, also retiring. And then I've got some scraps of white card. I don't think this is even proper Whisper White. I think this is just white card that I had lying around. And I've got 2 pieces that are 1 inch wide that I've scored half inch. Those are construction strips. I've got 2 little scraps that are about 1.5 inches by about 4 inches. Those are going to be strengthening pieces. And I've decided to give my bag a base, so I've cut myself a piece of white card that is just under 6 inches square. Here are the measurements for the 6 by 6 by 6 inch gift bag. I'll just leave these on the screen for you for a second, or you can pause the playback and you can jot them down. I'm going to begin by scoring my bag at 6 inches. And this is going to be the side, and this is going to be the front or the back. I'm going to rotate my paper, and I'm going to score it at 3.5 inches. Now that's half the width of the side plus half an inch, and I'm going to score it again at 9.5 inches. Alright, so that is 3.5 inches, that is 6 inches, so that's 9.5 inches, and that's 2.5 inches, which takes the measurement up to 12. I'm going to rotate the paper again, and I'm going to make sure that I've got the narrower band at the top, so that my 3.5 inch score line is at the bottom. And I'm going to mark my bag at 3 inches, and I'm going to come down as far as that first score line, and I'm going to do it again at 9 inches, but the 9 inch one I'm going to mark quite lightly. Okay, now that's going to help me later on when I'm punching my I'm punching the holes for the handles. Alright, now I need to extend this line that I've scored at 3 inches, and I want to take it down so that I can make my mitered points. And to measure where I need those, I bring back in my plan. So you can see it's 6.5 inches from the bottom of my paper. And that's 3.5 inches for the base, plus half the measurement of the side, so that's 3.5 plus 3, which is 6.5 inches up from the bottom. Now I've got a ruler on my scoreboard at the side, so I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5. If I was coming down from the top, it would be 5.5, because you know it's the other thing that makes the 12. I'm going to put my ruler there so I know how far down I have to score, and I'm going to go score down as far as there. put the scoreboard away, but I'm hanging on to the stylus and to the ruler. And now I'm just going to score between that point and that point. So I'm going to put my ruler so that I'm joining those 2 points together. I've got a squishy mat underneath. I'm just going to join those points. And the same thing from this corner. And now I'm going to trim up along that fold there, just a little bit. And because both sides of these are the same, I can do both of these at the same time, and I can just trim up these edges here. There you go. Alright. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go away, I'm going to burnish all my folds, and I'm going to repeat the process on the other piece of paper. All my folds are burnished. I've added a construction strip to this edge of the bag, and I've put tape and tape along that bottom flap. This is going to be the front of my bag. So the next thing I'm going to do is to punch the holes for the handles before I put the bag together, because it's always easier to do this kind of thing when the bag is flat. So I'm going to flip it over because I want to work on the inside. I've got my my little template here. This is just a piece of card which is about 2 inches, 2.5 inches, something like that, by about 4.5 inches, and I've just marked 1 inch in from that edge, and about half an inch in from the sides, and I've just punched 2 holes where those lines meet, and I'm lining up the centre fold that I've made here with the centre mark that I made on the bag fold over bit. I don't know what to call that, whether I call it the flap or the folded edge or whatever. So I've lined this up now with that fold. So now I can fold over my flap, and I can punch out those holes, just like that. To strengthen my bag, I've got my little piece of white card, and I'm just going to stick that on, just strengthen up where those and here are the 2 sides of the bag, so all I need to do now is to join them together. So I'm going to take the backing off that piece of tape and tape, and I'm just going to line these up carefully, just like that. And then on this side, remove the backing tape and fold this over, making sure that it's lined up properly, and there we go. So all that I have to do now is to fold in my base pieces, and there's the piece that I put the tape and tape on. There's the flap. Keeping it as square as I can. And in goes my base piece. And that's the back. So all I need to do now is to put the handles on it. I've got a length of the powder pink ribbon, and I'm just going to thread that in through the holes I pierced, just like that, and just tie them together. And I just have to repeat that on the other side. It's almost finished. I just want to tidy up this edge here, and what I'm doing, I've got a little piece of my construction strip. Now, because this is mainly white, I can get away with using the bit cut off from the bit that I used to hold the bag together. If you were using something that had a very distinctive colour, then you might want to, cut a little bit of card or paper that was a toning colour to that. Alright, and I could have left those open if I'd wanted to, but I think it looks a little bit more finished when that flap is stuck down. So there it is. That is it for today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Would love it if you came back and saw me again soon. But for now, bye bye.